Hello, and thanks for tuning in to our first ever episode of Echoes in the Mountains. My name is Chris. Most of you know me from Ryan Finds Truth. I've done several lives with him. Today, we're going to talk about a theory that me and Ryan discussed on his live last night about the other side of the mountain, the Fall Branch side of the mountain, an area that not a lot of people have spoke about. There's a trail that makes its way from the Fall Branch side all the way through the mountain that you can get all the way to Ben Hill Road that comes out at the Redmond's property. And when we were doing our search there way back in September of 2021, there was a mysterious truck that came down the trail, and once that truck saw us, it backed up and was never to be seen again. We don't know a lot about that truck. We don't know if the truck was relevant or not, but today we're going to go to the other side of the mountain, see what we can find out, take a look, maybe try to talk to some locals over here, see how much searching's been done, and determine if this is an area that we need to look further into. So we actually passed up Oak Glen Circle on the way down here. So looks like we're gonna have to make a left right here. This is gonna be Oak Glen Circle. This is gonna take us out to the other side of the mountain. Today was hit and miss on weather. I think there's about a 60% chance of thunderstorms, but it was supposed to hold off until afternoon, and I thought that we could catch this window and come out here and be able to get this video done, but that may not actually happen because we got some clouds brewing over here on the left side. You know what? We're not going to give up. We're going to keep going. If we get rained on, we get rained on. So me and Ryan had talked about this theory last night where, someone will be taking this very route right here, the same route that we're taking as we speak. They would find the trail. It'd have to be someone that was very familiar with this trail already. They would drive this trail all the way across the mountain where it would come out on Ben Hill, and that is where they would be able to take summer and then head back across the mountain to never be seen again. We're going to explore several areas over here because on the map we noticed that there's multiple exits, multiple areas that you can actually get up into this mountain, entry and exit points. So we're going to try to take a look into all of those. Definitely go down to a one-lane road out here. I mean, you could see how unless a trail camera caught someone, this would be very easy to get through this area and not be detected, especially in the daytime when people could still be at work, they're not home yet. So of course we got no trespassing signs. We can't go up in this area, but this is one of the entryways that will take you up into the mountain and ultimately into the trails that would get you across. Very beautiful area out here. also a very remote area. So we're not going to go past here. It is very clearly posted, no trespassing. There's cameras here. You know, we want to respect people's privacy, respect their land. I know that the gate's open, but this is going to be one of the main entryways to get back into the mountain. But as you see, there's no trespassing, and we're not going to trespass on anyone's property. Really, what we're just trying to do is we just want to get some eyes on this side of the trail. We want to be able to see what that looks like. I've seen the other side. I've been halfway up it, but we want to be able to see this side and kind of show you all what it looks like over here and get more of an idea of how feasible this theory is. So back there's our Oak Glen Community Center. So we should be coming close to our next entryway here in just a moment. Coming up on Oak Glen Baptist Church. Now, look, guys, it's also possible. I hate to say this, but we have to explore all options, and it's possible that someone that lives in this area could have took summer. They could have had this planned. Maybe they didn't need to get away. Maybe they just took this trail right here across the mountain. They grabbed summer. They come back across the mountain. And they already had a makeshift, I hate to say it, but some sort of bunker or something to hide her in. And, the only way that we're going to find her is if she escapes one day. That is a very plausible theory. So, that theory kind of makes this a very quick opportunity. Something that didn't take very long, and it would allow the perpetrator to not have to drive all the way to the interstate, all of those roads, and risk getting pulled over or risk someone seeing them. With this theory, they go over the mountain, they come back across the mountain, and they're right here at home where, right under everyone's nose. Very beautiful area, very small road. Again, the theory we're discussing right now is the possibility that someone in this area, right here on Broom Hollow Road, ended up, maybe they built some sort of shelter, some sort of hiding spot on their property, because these properties are huge, guys. I mean, the people that own land here, the land is huge. It's a good possibility that they planned this out. We've seen it before in previous cases. Look up J.C. Dugar. Many cases before where the perpetrator planned this out. They stalked their victim, and eventually they acted on that. They went and kidnapped their victim, and they held them captive for many, many years. And unfortunately, that is a possibility in this situation. There's an old barn there. I'd like to maybe take a look at. But that is the very unfortunate thing in this case, is there's so many possibilities. But I do think that this is one of the more likely possibilities. As you can see, we've not passed a car one coming on this road. We're just driving along, so And once again, it is very unfortunate that we are finding ourselves at a closed gate. Now, this doesn't mean that this gate was closed when Summer went missing. The thing is a lot of people, after the Summer Wells case, decided to close off access to their land. When we came searching early on the first time, access was easy. Everything was open. People didn't lock anything. And, unfortunately, this is someone's land. I don't know who. I'm not going to sit and say that this would be the perpetrator. It's possible that this was left open and that, the perpetrator just used this trail to get to Summer. And so this is the main trail that we talked about. Unfortunately, we are not able to get up through it. But we are going to put the drone in the air. We're going to see what we can see from the air. And, yeah, we'll go from there. So after exploring this area, taking the drone in the air, seeing the thick canopy, it's still, unfortunately, it's hard to see through these trees here. But I'm not so sure that a perpetrator would have came this route. There are other routes to get up into these mountains from the Fall Branch side over here. However, I'm not so sure that this was the route that would have been taken. I still stick by the theory of this was a crime that someone committed that they have been planning for a while. I still think it's very possible that you've got there's an abandoned house right back there. I still think it's very possible that someone set up a cell, a bunker, a basement type area, and planned for this. They planned to take a little girl, and they just found Summer as their target, and it's unfortunate. But the one thing about that is maybe there's hope that Summer's still alive, and right here, still in this area. That's probably the one theory that I think about the most, is that she's still alive, she's being held captive, and that one day, hopefully soon, because she's getting about the age that she can start thinking about ways to escape a situation. So all we can do is hope and pray to whatever higher power you pray to, and just hope that actually happens one day, and that Summer finally comes home. But that's only just one theory. There's many, many other theories out there. We're going to continue to search. Today is just one lead that we've went off of. How many other theories are out there? How many other leads are out there? How many other days like this? I can tell you that there's going to be more days like this. There's going to be more times where we go out to investigate something or look into something, and we come out of it feeling kind of down, feeling like maybe we were wrong. But the thing is anytime you're out here and you're searching for beautiful little Summer, then that's not a wasted day, right? It's anytime you're looking for Summer Wells, it is a productive day. I will say, like I said earlier, there is still many ways up into these mountains. We saw it on Google Maps. There are many ways to get up into these mountains, and there are so many trails back in these mountains. I mean, I wouldn't put it past someone to have built some sort of basement or bunker up in these mountains. That would not surprise me. Like I said, kind of feeling a little bit defeated on that lead. I was going into that really hoping that we could get much better intel of where we should search, and it just doesn't feel like that's what we got. However, we're still looking at some of the other entryways to get into these mountains. I am looking at a couple of them right now off to the right side. So there are definitely ways over these mountains, and it could be any of these houses, guys. They've found some of these missing kids with families that have kidnapped them, that live in normal American households. These people look like normal everyday people. So in Summer's case, there's many theories out there. There's the abduction theory, the wandering off theory, the foul play theory. You can't zero in on one thing or another, because you could be blind to something else that you need to be looking into that would help you or help lead you in the right direction. So no matter what theory I sit here and say that this is my most plausible theory, it's not the one that we are going to focus on the most, because we got to keep our eyes open to all possibilities, everything that could have happened to Summer, because right now there is absolutely zero shreds of evidence that anything happened to Summer. It's almost like she just disappeared and it's gone. I mean, that's kind of what's happened. So, you know, it's our job to come out, continue following up on leads, continue following up on anything that we think could be relevant to the case, anything that may help the case, even if it's just looking for evidence. If we could find just some evidence of something happening, then that would help the investigation tremendously. You know, me and Ryan, we've talked, and I definitely think that what needs to happen is we need to start back at square one. We need to start at last known location, and we need to map out every single bit of this area of Beech Creek as much as we can, as much as we have access to, and just start going over everything with a fine-tooth comb again. I do think for that to happen, the leaves really need to be off the trees. That's something that, you know, we want to have the best view of the ground as possible. My hope by doing that is that maybe there's something that may have been missed, and I know it's this many years later, and to think that after this many years there's still something there that could have been missed is crazy. It's a crazy thing to think about, but it's not impossible. A lot of cases that we've worked and we've talked about, you get out on the case and law enforcement tells you that they've already searched last known location, but we start there anyways because that's what we've been trying to do. And lo and behold, the victim is found closer to their last known location that had already been searched by law enforcement. Not saying that law enforcement's bad at their job, but people make mistakes. People miss things. I make mistakes. I miss things. You know, that's why I think that we start back over and we start at ground zero. We start searching back on 110 Ben Hill, and we slowly expand our radius a little further out, a little further out, a little further out each time we search. And we go over each image with a fine-tooth comb, and we see if we can find anything at all. Anything at all that's going to lead us in the right direction. Anything at all that we can go look at again. Anything at all that may lead us to help find beautiful little summer wells. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue to search. I'm going to continue to give my time. And we're going to continue to look for summer. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. This being my first video, you know, we want to make sure, we want to try to get the channel some traffic. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for blowing up the subscribers so far. I know that we're over 200. That's amazing. The goal is to keep Summer Wells' name out there and to not only help look for Summer, but help look for other missing people in our local area. Layla Santinello, it's another one. You know, we're going to be helping with. So again, thanks for watching, guys. You all have a fantastic evening. Until then, we're just echoes in the mountains.